Hey, so what's going on, everybody? Sorry, we had technical difficulties. For some reason, when I set the time, it wanted to go to Central Time instead of Eastern Time. So that's where we're at on that. And now the speakers are getting blown out by YouTube. And if this accidentally cuts off in the middle of it, it's because it is storming bad here where I'm at. Only able to be joined by Timmy tonight. Thanks, Timmy, for being with us tonight.
Of course, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, at least I got you, man. So, let's just jump right into it. What's this funny fishing story you said you had?
Okay, so the very last time I actually went fishing, I have to start there. Me and my buddy Matt, he's never been bass fishing before. We take the boat out, but unfortunately, the starting battery is completely dead. Screwed it up. All right, I should have charged it. Whatever. So this time, I had everything charged. The starter battery kind of worked. Everything else did work. So I was like, all right, fine. We're going to use a trolling motor over at Goodby's. Totally fine. I go park the boat, or I park the truck, and I come back to the boat. As soon as I step in the boat, I get onto the trolling motor, and the cable breaks.
Oh,
Now I'm
nice. So
like,
what? Just going
oh
around in circles
no.
or what?
So the motor doesn't work. The trolling motor doesn't work. We're not going fishing today. And I'm bringing out a new guy who's never caught a fish before in his life, bass fishing wise. But so I was like, all right, you know what? We're gonna have to put the boat up, but I have an idea. Let's go bank fishing. So we actually go bank fishing, and he actually ended up catching some fish.
Did you go bank fishing where you went that time, or like what side of town was you on?
No, I did not go there. However, I did go to L Pond. That I was.
Oh, yay!
I did go to L Pond. Actually, I'm gonna bring my phone up and I'm gonna talk. That way you guys can see what I'm showing you. But this was his very first bass that he ever caught, and it was at a pond here in the middle of Jacksonville. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, it ended up pretty. Actually, ended up being a good day.
What'd y'all catch them on?
What do you think?
Five tail.
Yep, and of course I
Seems.
caught my little one. But then again, the reason why that's the only thing I did bring that day was because that's what I learned on as a kid was fishing a Texas rig,
Mm-hmm.
and so I really wanted him to get on using a Texas rig because it works, and it actually paid off. It worked out.
Yeah, especially here in Florida.
Yeah,
Uh, Man, I'm glad I'm not out there right now. It is just coming down
it,
terrible.
it's not even raining over here. It's completely sunny right now.
Yeah. Well, we only got two people here right now. I don't know who that could be, but so I
One of
guess you're one of them. Who's the other mystery person? Let yourself be known over in the chat. Right now, it's just me in there. Whoever watches this on the playback, this is going to be rather entertaining. Something you may notice behind me, the aquarium looks like crap. That's because there's nothing in it. If you haven't seen my latest video, I took the bluegill out and they got moved to their new home. Some went to the pond, some got moved to the big 125-gallon aquarium, which is hopefully going to be where I'm going to start doing bait shop talk out there in my shop in my office as soon as I get internet and afford to get a computer. Hopefully, with a little bit of ad revenue I get, I can build a computer a little bit at a time. That's the plan, anyway. As
Fair enough.
far as let's go into fishing reports, surf fishing, saltwater temperature go up, which means the pompano have went bye bye. There's still some pompano around, but they're rather small, so you get to deal with them. Most of the stuff you're going to catch now is going to be whiting, bluefish. I'm not sure. Sea trout probably still out there too. Flounder are going to be out there around the surf, but they're going to be a little bit harder to get. And the big black drum, big uglies, they'll be out there, so you can be looking for them. So that'll be it really for surf fishing. No more prized pompano unless you have to weed through them. You might get lucky and find a straggler, one that's hanging out. You're going to be firing up, but you need to get after them now. With the heat waves we've been getting, it's only going to warm those backwaters up faster and faster, and the redfish are not going to tolerate those 90-degree water temperatures. They're going to go deep and out to the main river to find. So jump on that. As far as bass fishing goes, same thing. Dog days of summer. Start punching, looking for heavy cover, or start fishing deep. In Florida, from like 8 to 9 feet. You're not really going to find too many lakes and areas deeper than that. And also, you have to be aware of the thermocline, which means bass may only go to a certain depth because of it. But something on that note, as far as what they should be doing and what they're actually doing, last weekend, the reason we had to cancel bait shop talk is me and Bubba was fishing a bass tournament and things ran a little long. We got back later than we expected. It was overcast, rainy, stormy, typical afternoon, summertime weather, which you would think the bass would be out and about, swimming around, chasing bait out in open water, throwing moving baits, catching them. Not so. Actually, punching was what we had to do to get bites. They were in the thickest stuff you could think of, and is in that Kissimmee grass, which I hate punching because you lose so many rigs. It does not let loose, and that was the only bass we got. It was really hard to get a bite. The biggest bass that was weighed in. Oh, by the way, this was on George's Lake, the place that me and Bubba beat Timmy on. Winning weight was, I believe, 10 pounds, 10 pounds and some change.
11 pounds, something up there, yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't feel too bad. Me and Bubba weighed in a limit. We got a limit, and it was only but like 5.5 pounds. We finished like sixth place out of 20 boats. But out of 20 boats, only like seven of it, about like seven of them weighed in fish. Over half the field didn't even catch fish. So, I feel a little bit more proud of ourselves on that one. Tell me what's been your experience lately, other than breaking your trolling motor.
So I do want to say about the George's Lake thing that my 2 fish weighed as much as your 5 fish. So if that tells you guys anything about George's Lake, I really wouldn't recommend going there. I
Yeah,
mean,
but when we went, we was catching 6 and 4 pounders.
yes, at that time, yes. So the it definitely presents quantity, but not as much quality on a more often basis. But as far as anything else other than breaking my entire boat, I actually haven't been fishing that much. I mean, after today, I guess I can just basically talk about today, and it was crazy to think, and I never really realized this before, that each individual pond, lake, whatever you're fishing, they're all going to experience different types of I guess, seasons that the bass go through, whether it's post spawn, early summer, or like midsummer. Everything goes through different seasons at different times. And you can definitely see that as of today. I actually saw like clouds of baby bass, and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's kind of late for that time, but maybe it's not for that late. So we did catch our fish today out deep, males, of course. But then again, that's just pond fishing. I mean, it's basically just catching fish in a barrel. There's no real place for them to go. But fish in a lake or fish in a river, I actually haven't been able to do that recently. So, but that's pretty much my update on that.
Nice. Well, that's better than nothing at all. Actually, I went out to the pond yesterday, tried to shoot a bluegill video to show how much the bluegill have grown in 2 years. And that was kind of a mistake on my part. If you guys follow the community tab on my YouTube channel, like if you go to Dinsmore Outdoors, go to the channel. If you look up in where it says playlists and videos and so on, well, there's a community tab. And you've seen that a couple days ago, I hurt myself. That's why you videos, because there's a lot of things I want to be doing, but I'm not physically able to do them. To the extent of my injury, my lower back got hurt, and I've been trying to get better. Well, yesterday I got brave and thought, well, of all things, let me get in the kayak and see if I can do this video. And that was a very bad idea. It's very comfortable, but there is no padding. It's kind of like a wicker chair, like on your back porch. There's no padding on that thing.
No.
So I was on just my tailbone kayak seat, and after about a half hour, I had to come out. I had to get out of that kayak. It was killing me. Even with taking like ibuprofen and stuff, it was killing me. So I had to come out of it, and that video was still ongoing. They didn't want to cooperate. I did get some bluegill, but they were being kind of finicky, kind of picky. It was past their feeding time, so they are. I want to go back out and fish from the bank because apparently I still can't fish from getting hurt. And see, Rusty keeps up with us. I'm glad. Rusty, man, thank you so much, dude. You've been such a loyal subscriber. I cannot say that enough. Thanks for always being here. He doesn't miss a bait shop talk. If anything, he's the one that keeps that keeps pushing us. Like, hey man, what's up when we have another bait shop talk? So he's definitely part of this. And
Yeah, absolutely.
so, what's your big plans, Tim? Like, what's your next trip that you want to do?
You know what? I'm not really sure. Well, with this whole boat thing going on right now, I need to figure that out. But actually, honestly, I think our next trip is mine and your night tournament that I'm actually pretty excited for. What about you, man? You ready for it?
I'm definitely going to be stocking up on the freaking bug repellent in every way, shape, or form. Any of
Absolutely.
you, any of you guys watching got any good suggestions on your favorite bug repellent, like how to keep gnats and mosquitoes away? Please leave it over there in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this after and on the replay.
I just hope it's a chilly night so I can just wear like long sleeves and pants, but I doubt it. It's gonna be hot and humid, I bet. I know that for a fact.
It's gonna be still and human, my friend. My plans, like I'm gonna overdo it. I'm gonna have pocket. I'm gonna have a thermocell on the boat. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have skin so soft, and see what's another thing. Probably like off and like anything I can think of. If we got to put freaking tiki torches on the boat, I'm gonna do it.
there you go. I'm actually gonna spray or actually empty all the repel cans into my bathtub and just sleep in it for at least a couple hours before our tournament.
Yeah, some 100% deep. That'll work.
Yeah.
Rusty, you are correct. I went over. The first announcement did say 8 p.m. That was on Google. That was their fault because when I said it, 7 p.m. But what I didn't look at, it was set for 7 p.m. Central Time. For some reason, Google reverted back to Central, even though my time zone's Eastern. So that's where the confusion laid. I went back, fixed it, and that's why it says 7 p.m. now. And I'm glad to see. I'm starting to see a couple more people start joining in the chat. Those, I guess, they're realizing that we went live. I'm sorry about that. We're a little rusty. We haven't done this in a while, so hopefully we'll get all the kinks straightened out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're up to a whopping 5 p. I know you, me, and Rusty are some of them watching. I don't know who the others are. I hope they're not shy. You know, if you're new to this, go over to the chat. Just say hi. I mean, if you're shy, at least just say hi so we know that you're there. Who we got watching, and we definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. And don't forget, definitely ask questions. I mean, if maybe some of you guys that are subscribed to Joe aren't around this area in Jacksonville, so definitely feel free to ask some questions. Hey, River Bassin.
We got River Bass. We got Josh. I just saw your tournament on Omaha. That big largemouth you got there. Congrats on that, man. Talking about me and Tim, our next tournament is a night tournament on Orange Lake that we're going to be having coming up here in a couple weeks, and we're getting prepared for that. Did you get a headlamp, Tim? I got a headlamp. I got like a regular lamp, some flashlights, and of course we got the green lighting in the boat. And we're not sure how we're going to film it. We're probably going to be able to film the evening stuff and the first stuff in the morning.
Yep.
But as far as the actual fishing at night, you guys won't be able really to see anything other than the lights in the boat. So we might what we were talking about doing is when we do get a fish, we'll just turn the lights on, like turn our headlamps on, and hey, here's what we caught. We caught this fish, and here's what we caught it on. So if that's something you guys think would you be cool with, let us know if that sounds all right, or or what if you got any suggestions of how we can film bass fishing in the dark, let us know what your ideas are.
Absolutely. Let me know how I can do some B-roll and just pitch black.
I think, like you said, we're going to do all of our B-roll first thing in the afternoon when we get to the launch.
Absolutely. I can just see it now, just like black screen and then cuts to black screen and then black screen.
Oh, I've already got on Tackle Warehouse. I'm just waiting for Friday for payday for all my night fishing lures that I want to get.
I mean, I've stocked up on actually a lot of lures that are in the darker color range, especially the Whopper Plopper. I'm excited about that. I've actually never caught a fish on the Whopper Plopper. I'm dying to. It makes sense to me.
Caught a couple, but they haven't been that big. But yeah, I got to buy a black Whopper Plopper. I got other colors like bluegill colors, but I don't have a black one.
Have luck with the thermocells, Joe. I believe that question is for you.
Yeah, I was about to respond to him typing on here. Rusty, I used to use them when I hunted a lot. It takes a while for them to, get to burn to get that odor in the air and get kicked in. But it actually works with a lot of them. It keeps the majority. So you might have one that's like awfully brave that'll get through it, little no-see-ums and stuff away. So that's why I'm bringing it. And like I said, I'm bringing everything freaking off thermocell. Even think that it works. I'm bringing it because I do not want hours in the dark swatting mosquitoes. Tyler joined us. Hey, Tyler, sorry I had to miss our trip, buddy. Me and Tyler were supposed to go fishing and meet up Saturday, I believe, but that was like the day I hurt myself. No, it wasn't Saturday. I can't. No, it was Thursday. Thursday. That was the day I hurt myself. And I'm sorry I missed it. He said trying for redfish on Tuesday with a whopper plopper. I had a talk. I want to catch a trout. I want a saltwater fish with a whopper plopper.
That would be awesome.
And I've never even caught a redfish top water, so that's definitely on my bucket list.
When you said about turning left, did you mean that you turned to the left?
I think we're getting trolled on that one. I don't know what the hell he's talking about turning to the left.
What kind of subscribers do you have, man?
If you're not trolling us there, pal, you need to kind of specify a little bit more what you're talking about. None of us said turning to the left. But hey, and thanks for leaving the comment, so it helps us out that much more, even if you are trolling us.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thank you for actually watching us.
Yeah. We're getting more people joining in. This is great, guys. Do like us, chill out, man. If you got us on the TV or a cell phone or whatever, we appreciate it. Hope you're relaxing. It's storming here. Hurt really sucks because there's so much that I want to do, but I don't want to push myself and make it worse. Mm-hmm. And so I was showing Timmy earlier. I saw this in the grocery store called Screamin' Real IPA, and it's made here in Florida by Saltwater Brewery. I am not an IPA fan, but it's all right. I mean, it's got like it's kind of like a fruit cocktail taste to it, a little bit of a bitter at the end. I think it's one of those beers that you have when you're having a good meal, like if you're eating a steak or something. That'd go a little bit better with that. But if you're out in the hot sun, you're with you're trolling, trying to catch some kingfish, I think I'll stick with Bud Light for that one.
Yep, absolutely. Dilly dilly all the way right now.
Yeah, see, Timmy knows. Dilly dilly. All right, we're up to 10. Guys, jump in that chat. Ask us some questions. We'd love to answer them. Tonight's kind of like a free-for-all. Bubba and Alex couldn't make it. Bubba's actually playing laser tag right now, and he's saying he's kicking everybody's butt with what the hell he's doing. He's probably braiding his – I don't know. So that's what Alex is. I'm just so happy. Me and Timmy haven't done nothing like this in a while, and he's had missed out on a couple chats. Yeah. But saltwater fishing's what's up, man. Summertime, saltwater fishing. I've got to get the big boat out. You guys have been asking for some offshore videos. I got to get up my C-tip, my $165 for my renew if I'm going to take that thing out because, guys, $5, but it will save you hundreds of dollars in the long run if you ever go offshore. Beach. It has saved my butt so many times. And there's times where I've been towed back in and it would have been like $1,200, $1,500. And that was no either. I was down south in like Stewart, Florida. Haven't taken it out in so long just because gas prices, money, and I got cheap friends. So that's the biggest reason. And boats don't run on thanks. I can tell you that. And it's a lot more expensive to fill up a 100-gallon than it is to fill up a 36-gallon bass boat tank. But I definitely want to get out. The kingfish, people are smashing kingfish right now. Everywhere from the beach all the way out to about 20 miles. They're 9 mile. They're killing them there too. If you want to get on some black tip action, just look for the shrimp boats and just follow out behind. You'll your arms fall off anywhere from like 3 feet to 6 feet because they're following, eating that bycatch. Yeah, see, Tyler's wanting to know. Tyler's wanting to know when I want to get the big boat out.
Well, Uja Pat was actually commenting back. Maybe he might not be.
No, because I don't know who the heck Brian is.
Oh.
He's asking questions. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, guys. If the chat all of a sudden just drops, Let me apologize. Like I said, it is storming really bad here at my house. So either the power might go out or flicker out, or internet goes out. If it does, I apologize in advance for that. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully we'll actually have some good luck. Hang in there. But definitely want to get offshore. I'm probably going to try to do that early July. My work schedule, I don't really get a whole lot of weekends off, and I definitely want to be able to take my friends with me. Get Timmy out offshore. Timmy, you fished offshore?
I have not actually fished offshore. I've actually been bugging you for the longest time to see when you're actually going back out there. I'm dying to do it.
Right. So you never caught a kingfish?
I have not. The only saltwater fish that I've actually cared about and that everybody really knows about is redfish and sea trout.
All right. So the inshore stuff.
And shore stuff. Yeah, nothing offshore.
I've gone anywhere from miles out, to like right off the beach. Normally, I try to go around 20 miles. We usually I used to take trips down to Stewart because the Gulf Stream is only like 6 miles off their beach versus here where it's 60 miles off the coast. And that used to be great because you can go out there and catch tuna and dolphin and wahoo. And as you can see, my lights just flickered.
Pier fishing, shrimp, dude. Can't really go wrong with shrimp.
Earl, if you can get some live fish, like you can buy sabiki rigs. They're like a big string of like little flies. They only cost like $1. You can buy those and put them on and jig them up and down, and you can catch bait fish that way, like pogies or cigar minnows and stuff. If you're looking for a bigger bite, especially now that the kingfish are close here. Sorry, I just saw lightning and had a squirrel moment. You can catch kingfish off the pier using live bait like that. Just buy little zabiki rigs, like they look like little feathers, and jig them, and you can catch live bait. Or you can do like what Tim said. You can take some shrimp out there and go catch whiting and croakers and everything else. Bluefish, whichever. Even jacks will eat them. Pretty much it. I hate to be a shrimp. Everything eats shrimp.
Yeah, or a shad.
Yeah. See, Tyler's talking about same ride time too. Yeah, it takes a long time. I would love to. I wish Elton Bottom was closer. That's a 45-mile trip. That's probably about as far as I'd really venture to go out here. And it had to be good conditions too. Like I'm talking 1 to 2s. That way, more time fishing, less time having to beat the waves to get out there.
Well, I'm excited for that though. Hell, I mean, whatever you would recommend. I mean, I would just like to get out in the water out there and see what it's like. Other than,
man.
of course.
Here in Jacksonville, like terrible. But once you get about 12 miles out, it's just that crystal clear blue like you see everywhere else in Florida. And I love it. And you can just see like 30 feet down. It's awesome. Stronger though. You can go drop down. You can bottom fish right now for vermilion snapper, sea bass. Snapper will be opening. It's going to open up in July, and there's going to be 3 weekends open up on July. If I'm wrong with that, someone correct me over there in the chat. But I believe it's going to be 3 weekends. I'm not sure exactly, and you're only allowed 1 red snapper per person, which kind of sucks. You spend all that money in fuel. Congratulations, you got your 1. After that, you got to put the rest of them back.
We went.
Yeah, Tyler.
Last hour and got back.
Yeah, it's been the weather's been kind of rough. Yeah, that's another thing too. If you do go offshore during the summertime, try if you go way out. Like when I say way out, I mean like 20 miles plus. About lunchtime, about 12 o'clock, start coming back. Even if it looks sunny, trust me, start coming back because these storms are going to roll in and it can get bad. It can get real bad squalls. I got caught in it and had to call the Coast Guard. It got so back into my boat, the old boat that is, was underwater because we were taking in more water than the bilge pump could get out. And Bubba just joined us over there in the chat. He said he is the undisputed laser tag and go-kart champion. Yeah, he's over at Adventure Landing. That's right. That's where he went tonight. He's hanging out at Adventure Landing.
Okay. He's over in my territory. Okay.
Yeah, he's over there on Beach Boulevard. I wish he would gave us an invite. He, it's kind of easy to beat up a bunch of 8-year-olds and stuff. But I love seeing all this action in the chat, man. Y'all keep it going. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments. We love hearing from y'all. Every single one of you, even our troll, Mr. Powell there, OJ Powell. Is that what it is? Is that how you say it?
The J might be silent, so it might be Huya Pao.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, that's when you know you made it when you've got your own personal troll.
Yes, out the door with MT.
Woo, man! I ain't seen. I know he's been getting offshore. Oh yeah, that's another thing. His profile picture remind me tarpon out there. If you want to get yourself a silver king, man, look for the pokey pods off the beach, and look for the pokey pods off the beach and swim in there and throw you either a big like hog leg mullet or you cast knit you up some pogies and try to get you one. That's something I want to do this year. I want to have a kayak too. That'd be even better. We can go to Nassau Sound and catch them, or Simpsons Creek. You can catch some good sized tarpon that'll give you a fight.
Well, yeah, I see him jumping all the time whenever we go there and go fishing.
Right, or for air, they give themselves away that way. Fish tank, man, it's working out great. I did a filter change on it for the first time the other day, and the water is crystal clear. The bluegill have adapted to it now. They're like, as soon as they see the lid open, they're looking for food. Next thing for the tank, fish. Probably the next fish I'm going to add in there is red breast, and I don't know if I want to put a catfish in there or not. I'm going to let you guys decide if you want to see a channel cat in the new aquarium or not. But the fish going to be going in there. It's going to be the Swanee bass. That's the one I'm most excited about. That's going to be a trip all into itself. Is the getting the Swanee bass in there.
I cannot wait to go back again. I'm dying to catch like a bigger Swanee bass that's other than 10 inches.
Yeah, I don't even think he was that. But you did catch the first one that trip. But we also went during the wintertime. This is the summer, so hopefully it'll be. That's what sucks, man. I need to hit the lotto. There's so many fishing trips I want to do and not enough time to do it.
That's true. Not enough money to do it.
Right. There's two. I'm actually going to have a weekend off coming up, and there's two fishing trips I'm going to do on it. Hopefully they're a success so I can get new videos up. One is I'm going back to Sister. Well, I'm not going back. I'm going to go to Sister, and I'm going to do artificial only on that saltwater trip. And redfish, trout, flounder, whatever. But I'm not going to be using any live bait. I know that's like a rarity for me to do no live bait saltwater fishing. So I'm going to be throwing whopper, sardines, gulp, all that good stuff. And also after that, there's a pond on the where I get my shad for my pond. It's got a lot of big bass in it. Timmy knows which one I'm talking about. And I'm going to try to actually put the kayak in there and do some little urban bass fishing in that.
Yeah, it gets deep out in the middle of that thing, too.
Well, I have the fish finder, so we'll really know how.
No.
I know the banks drop off quick. In fact, sorry, it's just I'm reading y'all's comments. With William Bryan, hey, glad to see you on here once before. As Benny B, lost my phone, so I had to change everything. Oh, man, that sucks, William. We're glad to have you back, too. James Carr, what are your thoughts on salty squid? I'm not really sure what you're talking about on salty squid. Is there a gulp? Elaborate a little bit on that, James. Like who makes that? Then I'll probably give you a better comment. But I don't think I've used it. I haven't used really many. Thursday, Tyler is giving us a little bit of his. He's saying he caught his fish on a spook and a pearl fluke. Yeah, pearl color and neon is definitely the colors for up here. Or sorry, chartreuse, not neon. They don't glow in the dark. Pearl. Salted bait from Walmart. Oh, I know what you're talking about, James. You're talking about like the pre-packaged squid that's like dried. Okay, I know what you're talking about. No, usually if I use squid, I stop at a bait store and they sell boxes of frozen squid. I wouldn't exactly call it fresh, but it's frozen squid. We used to bottom fish with. It's harder for them to get. And I've even caught barracudas on squid. I know, as weird as that sounds. But that's usually what I get. They just saw it lasts longer, but the fresher stuff. William giving us went shrimping last week. nice ones in the river. They are here. All right, I want to get the cast net out and go try. Usually you can go to around Doctor's Inlet, around the bridge, and they usually do pretty good. Or Green Cove Pier. I don't know if they're that far down yet. I saw some guys at the Lions Club boat ramp catching some like real nice ones. Some of them like 9 inches long. That's a big shrimp. Timmy, can you throw a cast net? I don't even think I've ever asked.
Actually, you know what? No, I've never casted one before.
Oh my God, that should be hilarious. Remind me to film the first time you do that.
Absolutely. So whenever we get a chance to get to that pond, let me know.
Uh,
No, stand there and take a video.
all right, one more thing, Tim. You ever been flounder gigging?
I have not.
Flounder gigging is.
I do not.
Wow, it's coming down so hard I can't even see the pond outside.
Sorry, guys.
Flounder gigging is like you take a light and you put it like an underwater LED light that's submersible,
Yep.
and you walk down the bank and you got a big spear in this hand, and when you see a flounder, you stab him and then put him on, excuse me, on your stringer.
Okay.
Or if you're lucky enough to have a friend with a big flat bottom boat, he'll have lights all on the front of it, and it's the same thing. You got a big flounder gig looking there, and when you see his eyes sticking out of the sand, you stick him and put him in the cooler.
Okay. So do I have that friend? Does he have those lights?
I got my own. You better get your.
No, I'm seeing if I got my friend, and you're my friend, right?
Yeah, but I'm carrying my own light.
Oh no, flounder are on fire right now, going in the morning.
Sweet. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, they're definitely here. Sometimes when they're more inshore.
Dave,
James wants to see a cast net in video. I think we can do that.
I should make a video together, and then we can show them what not to do, and then what to do.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. We'll let Timmy throw the first cast net, and then we'll the other one. Flounder's the worst tasting fish to eat. What is wrong with you out the door?
And tea, come on.
I will have to disagree on that. My favorite. I got a feeling I'll agree. Then again, I don't know what you're eating, so you could be eating wahoo and mahi on a daily basis.
Half moon, huh? Okay.
Tyler, are you saying half moon's the time to go gigging? Because I would think it'd be full moons when you'd want to go.
That's what I was thinking.
Out the door said bycatch. I'll take your bycatch. Save them. I will gladly eat your bycatch.
Oh my goodness, great.
Yeah, see? Big O agrees with me. Big O, glad to see you, man. Man, we're getting everybody, all the old folks back in here, man. I'm glad to see everybody coming. Well, not old as in age. I mean, old. Some of my original subscribers. We are definitely glad to see you in here. Big O eats some flounder with me.
Are we like at episode 11 or 12? And Big O, I think you've been with us for like a long time. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, see, even Rusty remembers Big O, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, mahi is definitely my favorite saltwater fish to eat. That's what Vercro 22 is saying.
They named it twice.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. See, everybody saying hi to everybody, man. I love it. Old friends all coming back together, man. Why did we stop doing this? Oh yeah, life. That's why.
That's why. But breaking crap things happen. Who knows?
Right, man. See, Bubba's missed good times. I'm glad to have everybody here. We should do this more often. I like this freestyle type of bait shop talk we got going on here.
Absolutely. Who needs to have it scripted? We're all good.
Okay, so we went out and fished Orange Lake to get Timmy. I don't know if you guys saw of when he went out and tried to become a full-blown active member and qualify with the Bass Club at Orange Lake. He ended up beating the field with one bass. Well, Timmy, as bad as that was, and we caught one bass that day, right? And they sprayed the lake. The water looked like chocolate milk. It was terrible, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they had a tournament there last weekend. What do you think the winning was?
I'm going to go with 10 pounds, 11 pounds.
Pounds won that tournament.
Wow.
So apparently with all this rain we've been getting, it's cleared the water out and the spray and everything they used, and it has brought the fishing back. So guys, if you're like me and Timmy and had a bad experience on Orange Lake here recently, get all the vegetation, because apparently it's back on fire again now with all this fresh rainfall that we're getting. And thank God that we're getting it. been 3 feet lower than it's supposed to be.
Let it be back on fire as soon as you and I are done fishing my dang tournament. But I mean, if you guys haven't seen my video yet, go check it out on my YouTube channel. There's my plug.
Right. And now that we got like 12 people watching this, we're starting to get some folks. Like I said before, there's no in the aquarium behind me. They've been moved out to the big giant aquarium. If you haven't seen that video yet, it's like the last. You can see they are living the life now. All of them. Either they got a brand new giant tank or they're out there in the pond. My channel is Dinsmore Outdoors out the door, and Tim's channel is Tim Kidwell Out. Be sure to definitely go check Tim Kidwell Outdoors, and you get to go see what's going on Orange Lake. So head on over there. We're trying to get Timmy up to 1,000 subscribers. Timmy, what you rocking at now? 800 and something?
You know what? I will give you the current number as we speak, and I'm looking at 818. I'm getting close, guys. I'm getting close.
We got to get Timmy to 1,000, man. So if you guys are on my channel, it'd be great if you head over to Tim Kidwell Outdoors and subscribe to my man. Help him out. We're all here to help each other and learn from each other. We all have different lines of experience. Some of us are more salty than others. And that's fine because there's stuff that Timmy does that I've never thought to do. And there's me and Bubba all the time.
Absolutely.
I'm trolling down at 100 subs.
I'll tell you what, like everything that we do all together, it's completely different. And I think that's what makes the Bait Shop Boys, because we are completely different. We're not like the Guggen Squad, you know.
No.
We're original. Yeah, I think that's what separates us definitely. Is that we're definitely original.
Some of us are rednecks, some of us are nerds, some of us are hippies. It's weird.
Yeah, some of us.
But we're all friends, right? We all come together because we all like fishing. That's the main thing. We all. Oh man, the chat's blowing up. Yeah, warmouth spoiler. Yeah, that's true. I hate warmouth when it comes time to punching for bass. When you feel that thump and you think it's a 6-pounder, you set the hook and here comes a. Yeah, see, Big O's giving you support, man. He said he'll be there soon.
Thanks, Big O. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, like question for like Big O and Rico 22 and all you guys on the chat. Have anyone else had this Screaming Real IPA? You know, we were just talking about Mahi. Is anyone else curious what your opinion is on it? I mean, like I said, it's all right, but I think it's more of a dinner beer.
You know what? I think it has to be a mandatory thing to drink on this show. I think when you're on the Bait Shop Talk, I think you have to have one.
If you're of age.
I think we're all of age. I think.
Well, I'm talking about, as far as us, I'm talking about our viewers. If they're going to join us with a brew, you got to remember what I do for a living. You guys, if you ever wonder what I do for work, I work for the sheriff's office here in Jacksonville, where I live. So I don't want to see you guys at work. I want to see you guys on the water. Just keep that.
Or in the chat. I'd rather you guys be alive.
Yeah, or YouTube. That's.
Oh, we got two people that never heard of it.
No, he's talking about the beer. He's talking about the IPA. Real. I picked it up at Winn-Dixie. They're brewed here in Florida somewhere. Rusty's never heard of it either.
So, Joe, what we need to do at the opening of every one of these shows, we just hold them all up, we crack them all open up together, and we start the show.
Oh, your voice gets a little scratchy when you gotta have something to wet your whistle. That's what you do. You have a beverage. If you feel like being a pirate, which is saltwater time. Get out there on the ocean. It's time for some morning rum.
Oh, by the way, out the door with MT. I do appreciate the sub, man. I just got the notification. I appreciate you, man.
Oh man, check this out! Live sub updates with Tim Kidwell. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's I went up. So hey, I'm at 819. It's one more than.
Hey man, every one of those is a person. Everyone is just one click closer to your goal. I don't know what it is about my videos you guys are liking, but I really appreciate it. I've been killing the subs. Well, not like that, but I've been getting a lot of subs here as of late. A lot of my videos are taking off. Like I said, some of the videos I'm going to have for sure coming out. It's from a man, Stan. He never joins us here on the Bait Shop Talk. At least he doesn't. I never see him over in the chat anyway. But he's always there for all the pond videos and always there for like anything bluegill related. He's a big bluegill fisherman. I'm going to have the 2-year update of how big the bluegills have gotten out in the pond. So look forward to that. Like I was telling Timmy, I tried to do that, but I hurt myself worse trying to film that. So I got to take it a little bit easier when I finish that video and fish from the bank. Um, do chatterbaits. I'm going to do all about chatterbaits. What setup to have, what line to use, rod, reel, how to fish them, when to fish them, colors, way to tweak them to improve them. So it's going to be all that have been worried about that. And also for a lot of my saltwater guys, because I know I got a lot of saltwater stuff, is I'm going to do it yourself surf. So you can stop spending, $10 per a pompano rig, and you can start making them yourself right out of your main line with your terminal tackle. So be looking for that video. Save yourself some money, and we're going to be doing that over in the new office too. So it'll be great. So be looking forward to that. How's the heat affecting my pond? Big O that is driving the fish down into the deeper water, or down there where it's cool. Fortunate enough, I have some small springs in the pond, so they're hanging out there. And as the sun goes down, or like now when it's raining and it cools the surface temperature up, that's when they start coming up. You'll see the bass start coming up in the afternoon. The bluegills start getting up in the shallow water when the water temperature goes down. Out the door says bluegills are king. Well, I definitely got some king gills in the pond. Yesterday, they did not do their self giant ones in there after 2 years of being fed every day. I'm glad to see that you guys are liking the pond updates, man. I didn't know how much y'all like those. I mean, I didn't know if you really cared about the pond. Like, yeah, it's your pond. We don't care. We don't get to fish it, so why show it to us? But I'm glad y'all are really digging the pond updates and y'all are liking them. How's the fishing at Nassau Sound on the South Amelia? That's where, Dennis, if you go look at my surf fishing early summer in Nassau Sound, you can see it's been pretty good. It's slow, followed by like 30 minutes of like mass panic. It'll just be like back to back to back hits, and then you're just going to be sitting for about 2 hours catching a tan with nothing. You'll think the bait, and you'll reel it in, there'll be nothing there. But in all of a sudden, like 30 minutes, you'll have rod after go off. And I was catching whiting, sea trout. Believe it or not, I was catching some nice 20-inch sea trout, and once in a while you'll get a stupid. But like I know, pretty much gone. If you catch a pomp, it's going to be a small one, but you still got a chance to catch some other tasty fish if you get it out there on the backside of the breakers. So that's where I've been getting mine, on the backside of the breakers. So get yourself like a 10, 12-foot surf rod and give it a fling out there. Tim, you got anything that you got planned or any videos you got coming up?
Well, James Carr just recommended that we would fish Jekyll and St. South Island. So who knows? Maybe we should do something like that.
Yeah, we can do that. What did Big O say? What is it?
Oh, we were just talking about my video. He liked my knots video.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad you're starting to get mass produced and getting some stuff out there now.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I definitely need to get some more videos out to you guys.
Big O, question for you. Did you like how all the fishing line matched whatever Tim was wearing, or matched the table? Did you like that? We gave him hell about that.
Oh yeah, I got literally nothing but help from these guys. So here I am trying to do a video on awesome content to get out to you guys, and Joe's fixated on what I'm wearing.
Have an eye for fashion. What can I say?
That's true. We got a Tom Ford fisherman right here.
All right, guys. So we're rocking. We got like 10 minutes videos that you want to see us put out. So far, we got a cast net video recommendation and going to Jekyll Island. Yep. If there's any other videos you guys like to see us put out, put it over there in the chat. If it takes us a second to answer your questions too, just remember there is a lag. It's like a 10. So keep it going. See, Big O knows, man. Nice fashion moments.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't really trying to match the line, but hell, if it works out, it works out.
Well, that's why I try to use yellow braid, because that really doesn't blend in with anything.
Unless you're wearing, yellow.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case.
All right, guys. So yeah, definitely, guys. If you guys have any questions, definitely let us know, especially you guys that aren't around the Jacksonville area. Definitely hit the chat up and let us know some questions you guys may have. And when it comes to saltwater, that's more geared towards Joe. bass fishing.
This
That's
guy
also
right
here,
here.
Coach Joe as well. I'm actually just here for sport. So
I'm going to defend you, Timmy. You're here to offer a different perspective. That's what you're
absolutely.
here for. You're here to play the new guy to the game. I mean, for saltwater. Timmy came from Kentucky. All right, the closest thing they got to a saltwater fish is like a toothy muskie.
No,
All
red
right.
lobster.
Oh yeah, a red lobster or rock lobster.
It's a red lobster. That's the closest thing we got to saltwater up in Kentucky.
Tyler says, "Do you like using a bait caster in saltwater?" Tyler, I really haven't used a bait caster in saltwater. I had one. I got an old Abu Garcia ambassador, one of the round red reels, the ones that's like a perfect circle, and that's why I used to put bigger baits on that and let it soak like cut mullet. But actually, it's kind of funny you say that because I got the Cast Kings now, and when I go do that artificial day, I'm going to take that out there and fish with the Cast Kings with artificial. So that'd be cool. Any more Swanee bass trips planned? Yes. Oh, in the kayak. Ooh, Big O. I'm not sure about that. Right now, would be casting and you'd be hooking inner tubes left and right. So if we do a yak trip for Swanees, we're probably going to have to wait till it cools down. But yes, there is going to be a Swanee bass trip though, because I have to put one in the aquarium. That was the whole goal of having that aquarium. I wanted the Swanee bass in it, and what we're going to do is take the bass boat and actually go to the Swanee River and catch one. Rusty apparently has a real good question. What are your thoughts on barbless hooks? Another YouTube has hooked himself several times and it makes you think about switching over. Well, fingers crossed, double, knock on wood, whatever. And I'm 35 years old and I've never hooked myself past the barb yet. Knock on wood. Timmy has, and he had a friendly redfish pull it right back out as fast as you can.
It was horrible. It
Yeah.
was horrible. So honestly, at that day, I would have loved to use a barbless hook. To be honest with you,
All right. So as far as my thoughts on barbless hooks, trust me, we're going to get everybody's questions. I love that you guys loaded up the chat with questions. My thoughts on barbless hooks, it's really going to be your personal preference. More about safety than getting fish in, or you're more worried about hurting the fish, like especially if they gut hook it or something. Barbless hooks is most definitely the way to go. Now, if you're fishing a tournaments or you're doing online tournaments, you're doing regular boat tournaments, kayak tournaments, whatever, then definitely I would want the barbs on my hook. That way you got less chance of losing the fish because it seems like even with the most stickiest, treble hooks, they still throw it somehow. I don't know how. So definitely I would keep the barbs on your hooks. So if you're fishing tournaments, but like what I do, perfect example, I do my pond videos, right? You guys see me do my pond videos. My stock bass, they cost me money. They are the backbone of the spawning program in my pond. I don't want anything to happen to them. They're really aggressive and really known to swallow hooks. So each the pond, I push the barbs down on the hooks. All right, we'll go down. See what else we got. So that's my answer, Rusty, on barbless hooks. It kind of goes personal preference, but also goes back to keep a first aid kit and a pair of side cutters in your boat or kayak just in case that works and treat your wounds and not ruin your day. Yeah, you might be a little sore, but it'll take care of it. Live shad trapping or traps for fresh bait. James, I use a cast net. If I want to get some shad, I go out and I use a cast net. Or what you can do, they sell sinking fish food at like bait stores for like catfish. You can throw some of that out and wait about 20 minutes and then go throw your cast net over it. If you're wanting to catch pinfish, then you can use actual pinfish trap. Same thing with shiners, and you can use the cast net, or you can, if you got grandkids or young ones you want to take out, you can just take some bread and make some little dough balls and a cork and a cane pole and go catch those big giant like $1 shiners that they sell. Hey guys, have you heard who passed away? I am
he's divested though. So
Who? Huh?
he's divested.
Well, devastated is what what he meant to say. No, I didn't hear who. Timmy, you know he's talking about who passed away recently.
I don't know. It better not have been Phil Dance because he is.
Oh, I'll be devastated, dude. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. God, don't put that bad juju on there, man.
Bill was the man. I'm actually very, very lucky I got to meet him. He is an amazing guy at ICAST. I'm hoping I get to see him at ICAST again here in a couple weeks. Don't tell me he died.
Yeah, don't say that. Okay, let me get the V Rico. Recommendation for amount to give a friend offshore fishing, probably grouper, want to help with bait, gas, more of a freshwater guy. What would be reasonable amount? $100, dude. If someone gave me $100 to help take me offshore, I'd be ecstatic. Think about this. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into bigger boats. They have to pay for oil. They have to pay for fuel. Usually, you want non-ethanol fuel, which costs even more. It's like $3 and some change a gallon. And then at the end of the day, you got to wash the boat down and to clean it off. Like I said, I got cheap friends. All right, like I'll ask for about $40, $60 for fuel. I'll provide the bait. I've got the rods and reels, and all I ask for is some gas money and to help me wash the boat at the end of the day. That's the two biggest things that I ask for when I take somebody offshore. So, Timmy, are you paying attention to that? I need some gas money, and you need you to get on that scrub brush, all right?
You got it. I'll have Bubba get you gas money and make sure you start scrubbing the thing. Okay, got
Right.
it.
So, V Rico, yeah, $100 is plenty good. I know I would be ecstatic if your friend, you give him $100 and he still wants more than that's getting kind of greedy. But I know I'd be ecstatic with that. But so, yeah, that's very awesome of you, man. I had people I asked for $40 and they tell me that's too much. So that's really awesome of you. Big O, I caught one, a Swanee in Big Cypress after that video. You me. Oh man, Big O, man, I love hearing that, dude. I'm glad we could help you out.
There you go. Great job, man. Great job.
Great job, Big O, man. I love hearing that. Didn't get to hear the whole chat, but watch both of y'all's videos. Newer to the area, but where would you guys recommend to go for the best bass fishing that isn't too far away?
I did comment, yeah.
Yeah, take Samson off of there because it's completely dried up.
Is it really? Dang
Yeah,
it. That's
you
how you
can
found me actually with Samson's video.
right. You can walk across that small lake now. It's completely dried up. Just go to if you want to fish around here. If you want to fish the bank for bass, there's ponds everywhere. There's one behind the Tinseltown movie theater that's really big. You got the Lake Bethesda on the north side. You can look all this stuff up on Google.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. There's like Home Depot, Academy Sports on Beach Boulevard. There's a big pond behind there. I know that has bass. UNF. If you go around UNF, there's a bunch of ponds there you could fish. I haven't heard anybody getting ran off. If you want to go to the bigger water, you can go to go catfishing and stuff at Doctor's Lake. They had a pier out there. It's over there off the St. Johns River, off of 17. You can go there. There's Pottsburg Creek, Goodby's Creek. There's another creek. Julian Creek's another one. There's a lot of great places to go around here. If you want, you can go to dinsmoreoutdoors@gmail.com and you can hit me out there. Yeah, Zach said the town center ponds. That's a good place.
Yep. Hannah Park's awkward. It's a little bit different. UNF ponds, it's very clear, but a lot of people fish it, so it's definitely getting pressure. So if you're gonna just drive maybe an hour away to go to the UNF ponds, I wouldn't really recommend it. I'd recommend going to like one of the little creeks. Hannah Park's a pretty decent one. The town center ponds, I mean, you'll probably catch a two-headed bass fishing them damn ponds. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I would any of the fish out of these drainage ponds because God knows what's drained off into it. But there's some pretty healthy fish in there. Now, if you go to a pond and all you're catching is 10 inches after 10 inch after 10 inch after 10 inch after 10 inch, leave that pond because clearly those bass are stunted. That pond is overpopulated with them. No one's taking them out, and they're eating themselves out of food, and they're not growing. So you need to find a pond that has some vegetation, some cover, and a variety of different sizes of bass. Like I say, if you catch 20 bass and they're all 10 to 12 inches, that's all you're going to catch out of that pond. So you can either do them a favor and take some of them out and transfer them to another pond, or take them to somebody that eats fish. But find yourself a different pond if that's all you're getting. What was we talking about? Yeah, Dennis is going to check out my video on South Amelia. Like I said, Dennis is called Surf Fishing at Nassau Sound. That's the name of that video, Dennis. So be sure to check that out. Hannah Park, they say there's like hybrid stripers in there. I've never caught anything at Hannah Park. I've gone there a couple times. Kayak, like boat, bank, whatever. I've never caught anything out there. The only thing I've seen caught out there is bluegills and catfish. So out the door, if you got a secret spot at Hannah Park or a secret bait, be sure to share it with the rest of us. When you bass fish, do you always let the lure hit the bottom? I think you meant to say let the lure hit the bottom if using a worm. All right, Big O. I let the bass tell me that. That's what I like about bass fishing. It's never the same. Every day is different. You can either use a weightless worm or you can use something with like an eighth ounce or a quarter ounce and let it go down slowly, or you can use a half ounce and let it just straight drop the bottom. Uh, Weightless worm is if they're being finicky, especially like if you're using a wacky rig. It's got that slow fall, and they'll come up and eat it. Now, if you're needing a what they call a reaction strike, like they're not wanting to hit anything, they're not looking at it, they don't want anything to do with it. You use a half ounce weight, or maybe a quarter if you're using a smaller bait. But like when most bigger size worms, you use a half ounce, or a crawl type bait, use a half ounce because that fast drop, if it drops right in front of them, makes them react. They just hit it out of instinct because it's just a fast movement by their face, and it's either they're going to run away or they're going to attack it.
And
So that's where a weight can benefit you on that.
the perfect example is when we were fishing. I think it was Russo, and what I tied on was a 3/16 because what we were doing is what I found out was to flip the little worm really close to these little what was sticking out of the water, like not branches but actual trees. There were
Yeah, it's actually flooded timber.
Yeah, flooded timber. And so what I did was we actually used 3/16 and I actually got it down there. So maybe they weren't necessarily at the top of that, but they were probably pretty close to the bottom. So normally I throw an eighth ounce just so I can swim it a little bit easier. And it stays within the medium water column. But when you throw that 3/16, it sinks down pretty far and it'll stay closer to the bottom. But I definitely recommend somewhere between an eighth ounce, 3/16, or like he said, maybe even a quarter ounce.
Zach Morris said the ponds at Corporate Square are loaded. Do you know where Corporate Square is? I mean, you live more in the city than I do.
I think that's if I'm correct, I think that might be over by Dave and Buster's, and I've heard about those ponds. I've never personally fished them yet. I might actually do that sometime.
So you're talking about like Salisbury Road?
I think so. More
Yeah.
towards like Belfort.
Oh, he just filled us in. He said Regency.
Okay, so then that might be the. Oh boy, that's up. That's over by AMC. There's a big pond over behind AMC where there's like a Walmart up that area. I've kind of fished that Atlantic and South Side.
Zach, I think you got us, man. Because I know I haven't fished it, but it sounds like Timmy hasn't either.
No.
But I'm going to a pond probably Saturday that Timmy's old stomping ground. Sadly, Timmy ain't gonna be able to make it that because he's got family in town. But so we'll have a little Jacksonville urban kayak bass fishing on that. So be sure to when I put that up, check that out. By St. John's Russian Orthodox Church. I didn't know we had a Russian church.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up on Google just to see because what me and my
Zach, you're very brave, man, because there's at least about 15 people that are going to be looking for this spot now here in Jacksonville. So we greatly thank you for sharing this information. I just hope they're like the rest of us and they do catch and release on bass. So thanks for that. We're fixing to probably head out of here, guys. We're actually like 5 minutes over, but then again, we started kind of late too, and a lot of you guys joined us late. But we're probably fixing to get out here. So if you got any saltwater questions, or like I said, videos, or you just want to say hi, or wants to give you a shout out or anything, go ahead and hit us up in the chat. Let us know before we head out of here, and we'll do it. And Rusty's saying thank you. We appreciate it. There's usually nice bass and good ones there. Zach said, "Good luck, guys." Oh, all right, cool. See, V Rico does what I suggest. He does a slot limit on bass. Like I said, if you catch a lot of bass the same size, those are the ones that need to come out. Big O, prefer plastics or hard? I prefer plastics. In Florida, plastics are king. Hard baits have their time, but I prefer plastics. It's more motion, more realistic, and a lot of times you can coax them to bite better than you can with a hard bait.
In the morning though, I do prefer a hard bait topwater wise. Just to like certain times, I prefer a hard bait, but the rest of the day, I could flip and pitch and throw a worm all freaking day. So
Right. It's really hard to beat a worm in Florida. If I'm during the when it gets cooler, I like to challenge myself and throw a jig. But there's few places here in Florida unless they got hard bottom you can throw a jig. Cool. Nice to see you guys both. Say hi to Bubba. We sure will. He's over at Adventure Landing with his kids celebrating a birthday, and he's playing laser tag and driving go karts and having a big old time. You become an adult so you can go do stuff where you do for your kid again. You gotta love it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to back on out here for me and Timmy. We're definitely happy to see everybody come back and join us here on the chat. We're trying to get this going again. We're celebrating. This will be our 12th episode. So that's awesome. We hope to see you guys again for the next one. I'll try to get it posted up faster so you have more of a heads up of when this is going to be and actually have the correct time of when we're going to start this time. Sorry about that. Google had to slip up on that one, so we'll definitely be more prepared next time. Usually we have it the second Sunday of every month, but last Sunday was Father's Day, and we had a bass tournament, so everything kind of got all snafu'd. So second Sunday of July. Actually, I don't know. I think that's when me and Timmy got a tournament that weekend. So, God almighty, we might have to do it the first Sunday of July. So,
Yep.
Be looking forward to that, guys. We'll make it the first Sunday of July. So here in a couple weeks, since we ran so behind on this one. So we hope to see all you guys come back for that one. As always, I'm Joe with Dinsmore Outdoors, and remember, we do more in Dinsmore. And we have my buddy Tim Kidwell. Y'all go ahead on over to Tim Kidwell Outdoors, subscribe to my buddy there, and hook him up, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
You got it, man. Take care. Y'all have a good night. Bye.